Hi everyone, I'm Ireland Stevenson with the Daily Wildcat. I'm here with Mark and Enrico, who are both panelists, for the panel that was held here today at the Arizona State Museum while we watched the State of the Union address. Well, you guys, what did you guys think of Trump's speech?
I'll let you go. No.
Sure. So I wasn't all too surprised with the president's speech. I thought while there were a couple of moments, namely talking about things like paid leave or giving felons a second chance that sort of most Americans can get behind, I also felt like there was a lot of really divisive rhetoric. And while I think it did fire up Trump's base, I think that a lot of it was more of what we've received over the past year.
I thought it was unifying. I thought what he said about immigration and how he described the four pillars of immigration, 1.8 million dreamers becoming citizens in the path of citizenship, I think makes sense. I like the talk about the economic reform and how it's affecting the economy. So I thought it did encourage the base, and I hope it brought some independent people and maybe some Democrats over to see that he really wants to make this a better country.
Very good opinions on both sides. What did you guys think of the line that Trump has used that is quickly becoming infamous? Americans are dreamers too. What is your opinion on that?
I sort of view that as sort of the same kind of logic as folks who say all lives matter. Obviously all lives matter, but the reason folks say Black Lives Matter is because that there is systemic oppression that these folks are actually getting killed every day. I think it's the same thing. All Americans have dreams. We all have dreams. But not all folks' dreams are being crushed by laws and a broken immigration system. So I think it's sort of a false equivalency that the president is making.
I like the fact that it takes a label away. I don't think we need to label these people as dreamers. I'm a dreamer. I think you're a dreamer. You told me you want a career in journalism. You're dreaming for that. I dream for my job and my career, and you're dreaming for whatever your next step is when you graduate. So why do we just have to say that those immigrants are dreamers? I like taking labels away, and I think that was a nice job in taking the label away.
Do you think that Trump met his goal by wanting to use this speech to sort of unify our country? That's what he had said was a goal. Do you think he accomplished that tonight?
I'll start. I'm really disappointed with politicians and the shirts and skins, as I call it. The us and the them, and the Democrats hate the Republicans, and that just frustrates me. When you saw the behavior of Nancy Pelosi and her disgust on her face, during the speech, I think that divides us. The Republicans do it too. I'm not picking on Nancy Pelosi. Right here in our room, we split up in half, and no one on the Democrat side clapped except for two things that were said. And I think they're modeling what they see. They see our politician playing shirts and skins. Nancy Pelosi scowling. Some of the Democrats weren't even there. And it filters down to us that, oh my gosh, it's a Republican, I have to clap. Oh, I'm not going to clap for a Democrat. I really wish it wasn't like that. So did Trump make a difference tonight? I don't think so. I think the shirt's going to their corner, the skin's going to their corner, and we battle it out.
Yeah, I think I certainly agree with certain aspects of what you just said, that there, by and large, there is a problem with gridlock, not only in Congress but in our government, and people who are pretty decidedly make their positions along party lines. I thought maybe in terms of Trump's demeanor, possibly unified more folks because he didn't really go off script that often, didn't say anything necessarily off the cuff. But I also think that that's sort of the expectation for the president to, read from the teleprompter, read those prepared remarks. But I think that you only have to go back a week or two to see the president making really divisive comments. He wants the members of the Black Caucus to stand when he talks about black unemployment, but just a couple of weeks ago was disparaging immigrants from Africa just because of their country of origin. So while I do think that maybe there were some small strides made in terms of overall demeanor, I think that the president over the course of the last year has just said too much to divide Americans, and that's why they're going to continue to be divided, at least for the time being.
But I like the fact you said he's made small steps. So that shows there's something there. It was a kindler, gentler Trump, maybe? he was softer. And just to hear that from you, I think means the needle moved a little today.
Well, with all of us living in Tucson, what do you think out of everything Trump said tonight is going to resonate most with the people of Tucson?
If you want
I think we're all dreamers. I think you said that's becoming the hot phrase already. It's 20 minutes after the speech. But I hope that resonates with everybody, as I said before, to remove labels. And does that resonate in Tucson with a fairly high Hispanic population? Maybe, hopefully. And hopefully people will feel like he does, that the needle was moved a little with a kinder, gentler Trump.
I think that particularly when talking about things that are very close to the Tucson community, like immigration, the president, I mean, he's said a lot to sort of divide, and in some cases to associate undocumented immigrants, in tonight's speech in particular, with violent criminals. So I think that while certain aspects of this speech were presented as sort of a unifying rhetoric, there was a lot of it that just continued to divide, and I think it was more of providing red meat to his base. But I think that for a lot of folks here in Tucson, particularly in immigrant communities, the speech didn't do a lot to make them sleep better at night.
Thank you, Mark and Enrico. That is all the time we have. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hey, man.